Hello and welcome once again everyone. Today's video features a brand new premium French battleship, Strasbourg, which will be the reward ship for completing the new temporary campaign aptly named In Pursuit of Strasbourg. I must admit to having had a lot of fun with this new addition to the French Navy in World of Warships. If I was asked to quickly sum up how the Strasbourg plays, my instant comparison would be with a mini or Tier 7 version of the Jean Bart, primarily for its gun layout and its access to the reload booster, which really ups the fun factor with the ship. Many will compare it to the Dunkerque, having the same gun caliber, but in reality it plays and feels infinitely more powerful than its Tier 6 counterpart. Before diving into a complete review of the Strasbourg, I'm actually going to include two games in this review. The first one being top tier, demonstrating how powerful the Strasbourg can be, and also a second game that I played live on stream when up-tiered to Tier 9, and despite playing against far stronger ships, Strasbourg can still have a major impact. The timestamps are included in the video should you wish to jump ahead at any point. Those of you already familiar with the Jean Bart and Bourgogne will already understand how powerful access to the reload booster can be, and I must admit I highly recommend you try and complete the campaign called In Pursuit of Strasbourg, because you can pick up an incredibly fun premium battleship for free. Yes, 100% free. So starting off as usual with the complete build I'm using in these games to give you a better understanding how Strasbourg can perform. All the numbers I'll mention in this review are based on this exact combination of upgrades and captain skills. I've gone for a max tank setup, but there is room to play around here, like swapping out High Alert for Expert Marksman should you encounter difficulties with Turret Traverse, and the Steering Gears mod instead of Damage Con mod 2. Reasoning behind this max tank is simply the amount of times you will be up-tiered, and this build greatly helped its survivability against fires. Being a Tier 7 battleship, of course, you can't expect to have amazing armor, and you can see here from the port screenshot, Strasbourg gets complete fore-end plating of 26mm, upper belt and main deck plating of 26mm, and again complete aft-end plating of 26mm. The main belt or casemate armor is 283mm, which extends above and below the waterline, with an additional submerged section of 175mm. I would personally have liked to see a little more main deck protection, but adjusting the upgrades and captain skills to compensate does help quite a bit. The two main gun turrets get a frontal plate of 360mm, a side plating of 250mm, top plating of 150mm, and finally a rear plating of 352mm. The French turrets, when targeted, do tend to get knocked out from time to time, but not once did I actually lose a turret permanently during testing, and that was well over 35 games. Now we've checked the armor, let's look at the survivability, which of course is greatly tied in with the armor layout. Strasbourg gets 52,600 hit points, which is further reinforced by having a total of 5 repair parties when using Superintendent for extra charges. This really does seem on the low side. Only the Tier 7 Premium Florida has less HP at Tier 7, but I never had the feeling the low HP held the Strasbourg back in any way. 5 repair parties, when carefully managed, will greatly increase Strasbourg's longevity in a fight, as long as one is not too cavalier and simply charging in. Now we start coming to the fun part, the main battery guns. Strasbourg gets 8 330mm guns in 2x4 forward-facing turrets with a 180-degree turning time of 36 seconds. This can be improved with expert marksman, but I found I could function perfectly fine without. These guns have a 25-second reload time, firing range of 19.1 kilometers, with a max dispersion of 235 meters. Timed correctly, using the reload booster will drop this reload time down to 12.5 seconds, allowing you to get off relatively quick salvos in succession for the duration of the reload booster, of which you have a total of 5 charges, again with Superintendent. Again, this fast reload time can be absolutely devastating under the right circumstances, allowing multiple salvos on broadside turning targets where normally one might only get one chance. Strasbourg's armor-piercing rounds can inflict a max damage of 9700, while its high explosive rounds hit for a max of 4800 and are capable of penetrating 55mm of armor with a 35% chance of setting the target on fire. When up-tiered or facing tougher angled opponents, despite having a much lower gun caliber, I still found I was able to set lots of multiple fires, holding onto that booster until that moment that the enemy has repaired, and then showering them with 3 fast-paced HE salvos. The shell speeds varied slightly, with 870 meters per second for armor piercing and 885 meters per second for high explosive, but not enough to warrant any major changes in leading targets when swapping between different shell types. Strasbourg's secondary armament consists of 16 130mm guns in 2 different gun layouts, 2x2 and 3x4 turrets, all with the exact same stats: a reload time of 5 seconds, a max firing range of 5.3 kilometers, all firing high explosive rounds, capable of a max damage of 1900 with a 9% fire chance, and all capable of penetrating 22mm of armor. When it comes to AA defense, Strasbourg gets a rating of 51, with only 56 AA guns in total, the majority of which are small caliber, 13.2mm, ranging up to 130mm. All combined, they pump out a continuous average damage of only just 94, the majority of which is short range, which really does feel quite underwhelming. Strasbourg's AA fires only 3 flak explosions per salvo, with a max damage of 1470, with a max firing range of 6 kilometers, which is the only highlight here. When playing with carriers in the game, it's a wise strategy not to get isolated and seek an AA buddy at all times, because unless the attacking carrier is foolish enough to get caught by your flak explosions, it really can make your game quite uncomfortable. Personally, I was shocked to see the average damage as low as it is, because it is by far the worst continuous damage of any Tier 7 battleship. There is an option to mount a fighter consumable, but to be honest, I generally find these to be almost useless in stopping air attacks, and I much prefer having the extra range provided by the spotter plane when required. When it comes to maneuverability, Strasbourg, like many other French battleships, has very good mobility on her side, with a base speed of 29.5 knots, increased to 31 knots when mounting the Sierra Mike signal flag, a turning circle radius of 730 meters, and a rudder shift time of 14 seconds. Being one of the fastest Tier 7 battleships feels amazing, allowing one to reposition quickly or fall back when needed, and combined with the reload booster, allows Strasbourg not only to relocate quickly, but bring devastating amounts of firepower on target when an opportunity arises. Finally, stats-wise, Strasbourg gets a concealment rating of 40. No concealment upgrade at Tier 7, unfortunately, meaning Strasbourg will be surface detected at 14.8 kilometers and by aircraft at 8.6 kilometers. Not exactly what you would call a stealthy battleship, but considering you have the range advantage on the majority of same tier competition, it's an edge that should not be underestimated. Just remember, you can always use your superior speed to dictate engagement range to your advantage. Again, I feel the need to highly advise picking up this ship by completing the new campaign in update 0.9.12, In Pursuit of Strasbourg. The Strasbourg, like the Jean Bart and Bourgogne, although not as powerful as her high-tier compatriots, is an incredibly fun ship to play, and I must admit to have had a real blast playing it so far. When the opportunity comes along to pick up a 100% free premium ship, they are usually a little underwhelming, but not so in the case of the Strasbourg. Having that reload booster at Tier 7 is at times simply hilarious and a lot of fun. I highly recommend it. This game, while not providing too many fireworks, gives a pretty decent indication of how Strasbourg can rack up quite a bit of damage while being top tier. It's not like you are the top alpha dog at Tier 7, but this reload booster must be respected, because if you make a mistake in front of one, it might just be your last. So while this game plays out, I'm trying to finish off this hapless New York. In the next game that will be starting just after this one, there are a lot more exploding ships in a Tier 9 game, where simply using the great combo of speed and reload booster, the Strasbourg is capable of being very effective indeed, and I did feel it was important to show a game at the same tier and also went heavily up-tiered. It just provides a better picture of the ship's weaknesses and capabilities. In any case, I hope this video provided you some useful information and provides you some inspiration on getting the Strasbourg for yourself. I'm quite sure you won't regret it. If you like this video, make sure to hit the thumbs up button below. It really helps the channel out a lot. So thank you very much in advance. If you'd like to see some live gameplay, feel free to come on over to Twitch. I stream there regularly 4 times a week. You can see the link here on screen. So until the next time, I'll wish you all a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. I'm just going to try and use the fact that the DD is here. Take advantage of it. Minnesota is indeed a chunky boy. He's not going to get forward too fast. That's why I know I have got time to get across here and still be pretty close to be able to support him. It's not like a Georgia that's going to be halfway up the map by the time I get here. Sorry, HG said, can you keep it in English, please? So we can all understand. Yeah, I don't have any mods on at the moment. None of them were expecting me to be on it this time. Ah, okay, he's asking anyone else from Brazil. I don't think so. It's possible. I get a pretty broad audience from pretty much everywhere. Kisha is indeed rushing. And it, you know what's typical? I've relocated from the middle to the side, and it looks like their whole team is lemming training to this side. That's just typical. Oh my god, I just lost luck. Those shells are gonna go everywhere except on target. Oh, wait. We got lucky. Normally when you lose luck like that, just as you fire, the spread just goes everywhere. This might hurt him a little. Here we go.
Enemy cruiser foundered.
What are you gonna do, Balti? Literally, their whole team is lemming trained. Balti's too well angled. I was surprised he actually stopped there. I thought he'd push forward into the cap. He's doing. Could get one more shot on this broadside here, maybe. Come on, reload. Don't fail me now. Just out of... Unfortunate. Look at this. No hits on the St. Louis. That's kind of bad. Well, he managed to turn out at... Must have the steering gears mod?
cruiser.
Enemy cruiser detected.
Really expected him to start going forward, but... Okay.
Enemy cruiser foundered.
Get back!
No shot.
Taking the lead.
Citadel not found. Citadel not found. You know what? I'm going to pop a reload booster here as well. Finish this guy maybe. Okay.
Enemy
Can
battleship
still
destroyed.
use it on the Minnesota. Ouch. Well, that was a waste of a reload booster. Damn it. No, 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 not like this. But that Oosterjotland is here. Was able to fire undetected there. That's going to change pretty quickly though. You know what? I'm just going to put this island between myself. I kind of want to take this cap. And I don't want to be openly brawling these guys. They are tier 9 battleships after all. Well, if I can get a sneaky position. And the cap is good for the XP. Gotta remember the XP. Not always about the kills.
Our victory is in sight.
Very one-sided though. At least we're on the right side this time. That's all we can say. At least we're on the right side.
All stations, proceed. Enemy aircraft carrier sighted.
Love to have a reload booster. Ah, not quite. Have one up in a couple of seconds though. Bismarck is going to burn to death though. And I don't think I have the range with my spotter plane. He's just out of range still. Yeah, just out of range. Got a reload booster though. A lot of fire coming in there. Not to be, folks, not to be. No Kraken, unfortunately. It's still a test ship, so you're not going to get the achievements anyway. Tends to get one-sided when the bottom tier BB plays like a man possessed. Well, I mean, I was trying not to lose another bloody game, is what I was trying. The way it worked out quite nicely, but Arcata took down a lot of planes. I mean, I was able to take advantage there because their whole team just lemming trained. I was able to get a nice angle on a couple of their cruisers and able to punish them. So taking out their cruisers really helped quite a bit. I'd like to thank you once again all for watching. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more. Take a moment to check out some of my most recent videos and leave a comment below. And until the next time, keep sailing it like you stole it.